Hi, I am Marta De Menezes. I'm a Portuguese artist. I've been working now as an artist for about 11 years. And since I finished my degree in painting, I've been working and developing my work in biology laboratories to try and express my projects through biological material, in preference live material. In this exhibition I have 5 of my works. They all have some relation with the living. Not all of them are alive, but they all have a relation with the living. They're all manipulation of the living. And they're really about developing new materials and new methodologies to expand the area of art, and to expand it to something which means very much to us, which is live material. Today we are inundated by biotechnology, and we need to reabsorb it. It's not a distant thing. Biology is us. We are alive and we are biology, and so we need to experience biology and biotechnology in a closer way, a more personal way. And I think art can do this, and this is why I develop it. In this room, I call it the room of identity, because they're all portraits. There are 3 works here, and they're all portraits. And they're different ways of thinking where is my identity. They're all portraits of myself. And thinking about life, you can think about yourself and where your identity lies in many different ways. And so in front of me I have Inner Cloud. And Inner Cloud is not a very challenging work in terms of technique. It's not a very difficult biotechnology work, but it's very meaningful anyway. It comes from the very recent question of what is DNA? What does DNA have to do with our identity? For a short period of time, DNA, which we understand as being a code, almost stood as everything that we are. We are our DNA. Everything that amounts to an organism would be written in code in our DNA. But that didn't last for a very long time. Obviously, twin brothers, identical twin brothers, are not the same person, even though they have the same DNA. So that wouldn't stand for very long. So where is my identity? Is my identity in my DNA? Can my soul be in my DNA? And Inner Cloud is very much about this. It's a very long or ancient philosophical question. Where is our identity? Where is our soul? Is our soul our identity or not? And this is a very contemporary critique of where can our identity be? Where can my soul be? If it's not in my heart, if it's not in my brain, how much of myself can I take out and still be me? And this is Inner Cloud. Functional portrait, which is behind me, it's a functional magnetic resonance technique. And in a way it refers more formally to traditional portraiture. It's projected onto a canvas, so a real canvas portrait. It involves photography and it involves my exterior, but it also involves my brain activity. And in a way it's a very true portrait in a very traditional sense, because this portrait represents me at a certain time of my life. If I did the same thing again, exactly the same scan, doing the same drawing, the brain activity would probably be different. Just like if I had a painter do my portrait 10 years ago and do it now, the image would come out different. So it's momentarily, this is my portrait. It will always be my portrait, but I'm not the same person anymore. Not only my physique changes, but my brain also changes. My biology changes. So portrait is In my view, it's actually the portrait of myself that really represents me. None of the other ones are more playing with the idea of portraiture in general. Where is my identity? In this case, it's more personal than this. Portrait is, it starts from a very basic idea, which is to try and make a new protein that has my name as its amino acid sequence. You have 20 different amino acids in nature. To each of these amino acids, the scientists corresponded one letter of the alphabet. So you have a 20-letter alphabet. And I thought, well, can you make a protein with my name as its amino acid sequence or not? And it was a challenge for them, and it was a challenge for me to see if I could transform something which is letters, in my case, which is letters that correspond to my name, which is a little bit of my history. It's my Christian name, it's my mother's name, it's my father's name and my husband's name. So it, in some ways, represents me. Can I make it into an object, into a new material? Can I create a new form out of my name? And how can I translate this? What are the steps that I need to take? And I did it through the laboratory, of course. But my name is not me. It is a part of me, but it's really not me. Or I'm not my name. And so in discussion with the scientists and in discussion with the curator who organized this piece with me, she said many times, well, do you know of anybody who has this relationship with the scientists, who goes into their labs for 6 months and laughs like you do, and plays with them like you do, and works parallel to what they're doing like you do? This is what you are. This is how you work. This is what drives you to find new ways of going into a different lab, to know what they're doing, to understand what they're doing, to work with them for a common objective, which may be your objective or it may be their objective, but it is a common objective, and we're both working in the same direction. And this is me. This is really me as an artist, as a person. I establish these relationships, and I invest myself in them, and I'm intellectually challenged to understand what they're doing, and I try to challenge them intellectually to be excited about my objective as well. And so the work, which is a working table, which represents how I work in the lab every day with all the lab material. And I show here, and I like the video very much because it shows how I interact with them. It shows that we're laughing together, that they're playing with me, and that I'm playing with them as well while we're working. And this is how I live in the lab every day. So more than where is my soul or how I looked 5 years ago or 6 years ago, this will always be a representation of what I consider my essence, my way of living, what makes me happy, what makes me tick every day. And so in this room, I call it the room of identity, because I am very much represented in all of them. You're welcome. Thanks.